That is the MVP ladder, where it's similar to Kelsey's Heisman hierarchy. I'm going to break down the top 3 guys we have in the NFL for MVP ladder. And for the first time, a guy who did not play is going to make his debut on the ladder. Bring in Matthew Stafford, sitting at the number 3 spot. Bye week and this last week, and you know what? He leads the NFL in touchdown passes, still tied with Patrick at 17. He's, I think, 7th in yards, only 2 interceptions. He has been absolutely outstanding this year. Even without Puka, what did he do? He threw 5 touchdowns. In London, in the Jags home stadium in London, where they never lose, he dropped a full hand on them, and it continues to be outstanding. Even in his old age, the old man Matthew Stafford continues to get it done. So Stafford coming in at the 3 spot. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes. He was okay Monday. I mean, he's still tied for the NFL lead in touchdown passes. He has the most total touchdowns in the NFL when you include his rushing. He's towards the top in passing yards. They've been rolling. They've scored 28 plus points the last 5 weeks combined or so. Since the first 3 weeks, he's been absolutely cooking. He was number 1 last week, rightfully deserved. The reason he's not number 1 though is because it's time. It's been long overdue. It's been 13 years, and we had a chance 2 years ago, and we screwed it up because we are a problem as a country, and it is time to be fixed. We have a non-quarterback at the top of the list. Jonathan Taylor is leading the spot for MVP right now. Leads the NFL in touchdowns by a lot. It's not even close. I'm pretty sure he's almost doubled up second place. He's at 14 total touchdowns. I think second place is at 8. He leads the NFL in rushing yards, leads them in carries, leads them in rushing touchdowns. He's on pace to, I believe, tie or break LT's touchdown record. He's on pace. He already has as many touchdowns this year as Saquon had all of last year during Saquon's epic run. Sorry, he's 1 touchdown less because Saquon had 15. You have plenty of games. He's going to continue to get more. His season's not over yet. It's the number 1 team in the NFL record-wise, an historically effective offense and rushing game. If I'm not mistaken, if you took out all of their passing, they would still be an elite offense. Like, their EPA would still be at the top because of how good that run game has been. They've been absolutely sensational, and it's led by Jonathan Taylor. It does not have to be a quarterback to win the MVP award, dang it. It's been 13 years. It's okay if things continue at this pace, and that Colts team ends up as a number 1 seed behind Jonathan Taylor's 2,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. I think it's okay to give it to a running back. He doesn't have to be defaulted to Offensive Player of the Year because Patrick with the 3 seed happened to throw for 33 touchdowns and 4,000 yards, or Stafford with 35 and 4,000 yards. Great seasons, not MVP. Jonathan Taylor is the MVP right now, and at the rate he's going, he's going to be rushing right into the record books. Colt fortified Jonathan Taylor, number 1 in the MVP ladder as of right now.
Okay, I like that, and I hope that'll happen, but let's be realistic here. If it's not him, let's at least choose his teammate, who is currently 4th in the league in his passing. But I'm not disagreeing with any of your list. I actually understand why your list is the way it is. But yeah, I do have a question just to raise to you about Jonathan Taylor, because I am curious about this, because this is the age-old argument, right? Quarterback versus halfback. Well, they just both happen to be on the same team this time. So, you're an MVP voter. Would you take a 4,500 passing yards and 30 touchdown season with maybe 6 interceptions for Daniel Jones, or a 2,000 yard, 20 touchdown season from Jonathan Taylor as your MVP?
20 touchdowns would mean he has 6 touchdowns in there. He'd have to slow down at a very slow pace to only be at 20. So you're basically saying he's not getting in the end zone for a while.
Just picking a number here. That's all it is.
If it's closer to that, it's more of an argument. It'll be like CMC and Brock Purdy a couple of years ago, where they almost cancel each other out and they defaulted to Lamar at that point, where it probably should have still been CMC. Actually, probably should have been Dak that year. But if we're going to, CMC had as good a case as anybody with his touchdown streak. When it comes to getting in the end zone, if Jonathan Taylor's 2,000 and then 20, then you can make more of the case for a quarterback. But if you're telling me he's in the mid to upper 20s with total touchdowns, like he's on pace for, even threatening LT's record, we see 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns a lot more frequently than we do that. I think there is a precedence for that. In the same vein, if I had my honorable mention bar down here, Daniel Jones is right there, as you mentioned. Josh Allen's, of course, always in there. Drake May's in the thick of it. Jackson Smith and Jigba, by the exact same logic, is right there too. Yeah. I can't put 2 people on here that came off a bye week. That's too much. So I only put 1 in there off the bye week. But JSN's on pace to pass Calvin Johnson's record too. It's like when we had Cooper Kupp and JT 3 years ago. They were both right in the thick of it. Probably could have Cooper Kupp a lot more because they made the playoffs, won the Super Bowl, all that. But I'm just saying, this is the year. Quarterbacks have been very good, but nobody's been terrorizing the league this year. This isn't last year's Josh Allen and Lamar and Joe Burrow. Like that hasn't really happened yet. They've all been very good. Stafford's numbers are outstanding. But what Jonathan Taylor is doing it right now through 8 weeks is absolutely sensational. And putting that team on his back, like he accounts for I think 78% of the team's rushing yards, which is the largest percent in the NFL by a lot. So it's not there. He's been outstanding. And
he's 33% of their total offense. It's just that tells you how good he has been. By the way, the other 2/3 of their offense, you can credit to Daniel Jones, but I'm only saying that because I find it hilarious that Daniel Jones has had such a great season, as we talked about it going into the year, and how it would just be like the ultimate thing that him and Jonathan Taylor have great seasons, and you have to pick one, and they end up canceling each other out, which I always think is the stupidest, hilarious thing. Like, I don't know, man. Like, give them both credit where it's credit's due. Not you, in case, but I'm talking MVP voters at the end of the year. Because, like, right now, we're watching 2 historic performances on the same offense about a team that has had a historical turnaround in a lot of cases, where Daniel Jones was written off twice. Jonathan Taylor has gone through injuries and been written off as no longer a top 5 back in the NFL twice. They lost their owner. They have a young, and I don't take this as me slouching on the new owner at all, but when she was announced, the comments that were posted were, "Oh, great, a female owner who's in her 40s, 50s, or younger age." Yeah,
3 of them on top of it.
Oh, great, you're just going to hand it down the family. Look at what's happening. This team is excelling, and Jonathan Taylor and Daniel Jones are at the forefront of it. And if voters don't look at this and recognize that this is a very talented team, and now they have the full support of their organization behind them, there's no one eye towards the future type of thing. They're all bought in now to win now. And I think that's something you look at in Indy is so much different than what you look at in Dallas, and why that dysfunctional organization still operates. Indy is operating on a whole different level on the field and off the field because of all of the changes that have happened in this team over the last year. And I think that's worth mentioning when you talk Jonathan Taylor and you talk Daniel Jones. Yeah, I don't disagree with your list at all. I love it. But yeah, I just needed to throw that 2 cents in there because we don't really talk about the ownership very often on the show, but it's worth shouting them out because they're doing an incredible job.
It's amazing. As soon as they took over, everything flipped on its head. But the last thing for Jonathan Taylor, leads the NFL in rushing first downs, leads it in touchdowns, leads it in big runs, has the second longest rush of the season at 80 yards, just behind Bijan's 181. Leads it with 850 yards, leads in attempts, 6 yards a carry on top of that. So it's effective. It's not just dip. It's not a complete bludgeoning hammer every time, and has yet to fumble the ball. His biggest thing coming out of college and what plagued him in some miscellaneous years, and despite the amount of times he has touched the ball, he has yet to fumble. And that's not even including his receiving production that we've had on there as well. And it's not just that, as you mentioned, Daniel Jones is cooking too. That passing offense is still very good. So it's not like the Titans with Derrick Henry. It was, please, King Henry, save us. You are our only hope. It is, stop it if you can. Get behind Quentin, Bernard, and Bortolini. Good luck, everybody else.
Hey, Eagles, this is how you feed the mouths. This is how you do
it. They did it this last week. This is the 1 week we can't make fun of them for.
No. I'm talking last year. Because last year with the Eagles, it was Saquon or bust. It was the late game. It honestly, Jonathan Taylor has a bad week, and me giving him 20 touchdowns is telling the world that he's probably going to have 2 or 3 bad weeks between now and the remaining 9 games. That's okay because the offense from everywhere else is going so well, and that defense is playing exceptionally well too. But I think like this is how you look at an offense. You want to see a total offense. This is what you're seeing from the Colts, and honestly, you picking one is impressive because I don't have the gall to pick just one personally because they're both on my fantasy teams. So
I'll round it out by just saying, to add to all of it too, he's still doing it all. Michael Pittman is tied for second in the NFL in receiving touchdowns with 6. So it's not just saying Jonathan Taylor's doing all of this in a incredibly balanced and unbelievably efficient offense.
Offensive rookie of the year is probably going to Tyler Warren at the rate they're going.
Especially with Ibuka being bagged up and slowing down a little bit too, and Tyler Warren continuing to be Tyler Warren. That's incredible season, but it's not a Colts glaze session. It is a Jonathan Taylor is leading the way for MVP, and it is time until proven otherwise that it doesn't have to be a dang quarterback. Yes. And if the Colts are the 1 seed, at the rate they're going, the way the season is gone, assuming nothing changes and everything continues on the same track, Number 28 is going to be the reason why, along with Daniel Jones, but 28 is the catalyst that offense runs.